And then a years or so later, they said that all the exchanges, they were illegal unless you had KYC. So then you had to have your know your customer laws. So then people were getting around that by having their VPNs. But then they went now when Gary Gensler was in there and said, if you are supporting Americans, allowing them to come in with the VPN, the SEC is going to come down hard on you with the United States law, and everybody got scared. So then they left everybody out in the cold. Okay, so
Wow.
at this point now, the accredited investors are the only ones that can participate because they have the big money, but they want safety, so they're asking for ETFs, which is just like paper, right? So it's kind of like the fiat all over again, where you have these ETFs, and we don't know what type of laws are going into these particular ETFs. Like everyone, and everyone can be different. But now we have these different regulations, but is the regulations for people to is the regulations for people to create better ETFs for people. The regulations isn't, it's not for retail to get involved. You know, retail has to use decentralized exchanges, and when by the time we get any of the tokens um, of the big money, the ICOs are already, you know, bought up by the accredited investors. So here we are again, something that was created for the people by the people, literally, was now taken over by these corporations again. I mean, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but I'm saying that to say this, that we really have to be smart on how we find these tokens, and that's why I have these meetings 3 times a week, 1 hour a week, 1 hour a day, 3 times a week, so that we can start to find these alphas, and then we can figure out, okay, this one has the potential. Like, for example, when I went to let me get out of coin market cap. I was trying to show the smart contract, but it was acting a little bit crazy because there's literally millions of tokens now. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous actually. But let me see. Like I was saying here, you know, you can look at things that are trending and be like, oh wow, this is good. Well, let's just focus now. If you want to focus, we go to category. Okay. Um, we go to gaming. Now you know that gaming is really popular, right? And the top token in gaming is Render. Okay. And I mentioned this a lot, but it's a great example. It's number one. But the reason why it's number one is because this particular token is crossing a lot of different technologies, a lot of different categories. Okay. It's the decentralized physical infrastructure network, right? It's also crossing over to the AI, and it's also crossing over into gaming. What makes this one, the reason why that it is crossing all those different industries or categories is because it's the CPU, right? It's the physical hardware. The physical hardware, you can put it into a rig. Let me show it. I'm actually talking when I was showing it. You can put it up in a rig, okay? And you can make money with it. And it's something that the people, the average people, the retail can do to physically have something to actually make residual while they actually are having it used for proof of work. See, I personally think proof of work is something good for the people because the proof of work creates a network, and that network allows people to participate, and that creates an ecosystem. And that ecosystem can trade the tokens through the decentralized exchanges. So as the accredited investors start to turn everything into an ETF, I think the real value is going to be, this is what I'm thinking of, things that you can have a physical node or a physical solution to a problem, right? That's why I like Filecoin and all these other ones. This particular one, the render token that you can see, like I said, people make money just for holding the renders, just like they make money holding the Ethereum. So you have to identify the tokens that are actually doing something useful, right? That you can actually physically purchase